Yes, I'm
Before
able to see.
started, yeah, thank you for confirming. Before we get started, I just want to give a recap of what we did till now. Like yesterday, particularly in the last class, we were talking about branching, right? Also, mm, the concept of git branch, git merge with conflicts and without conflicts, right? And also without conflicts and the reason for conflict, right? And how to resolve the conflicts. These are the things we have seen end to end yesterday. Like completely we have gone through this. Before that, like we have gotten clear understanding on working directory, staging area, local repository, right? And also removing the files, git rm cache, and git ignore. These are all the concepts we have completed, like git revert, git reset, again reset hard, soft, mixed are the different types of resets we have gone through. And then rm cache, ignore, revert, reset. And then we have get started with the branching concept, right? These are the things we have dealt with. Of course, there were a lot many other commands was git diff staged, right? And then status command, log of a particular file, brief log. So these are all the things we have done. I believe like all of you have completed hands-on on this, or whoever have completed, I'm requesting again, hands-on is mandatory to avail the complete benefit from the course. So if anyone haven't done the hands-on, if anyone have just started now, just make sure you're doing that hands-on. And let me give a quick recap of what a branch is. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. Please watch the recording. Still, if you have a questions, you can connect with me or we can take the whole thing towards the end of the class. But here I'll give you an overview. Like branch is nothing but you can assume it's like a directory or a folder in your repository, a virtual directory or a folder, right? Master branch is the main or the default branch. You can create child branches from this master, any number of child branches. When you create a child branch, you will get all the files, all the comments copied from master, everything you get into this child branch, right? Everything you get into this child branch and you work on here. And once you are good here, means branches works like a drafts, right? Or for temporary purpose. Later on, if you want to integrate these changes to the original one, you would merge it or integrate it back. This is the concept of branch. And yesterday we have seen creating a new branch, right? We have seen listing the branches. We have seen switching the branches. We have seen merging the branches, right? And also fixing the conflicts. This is what we have seen yesterday. And there is also something like you can delete the branches, right? We'll see all of that. But before that, why should you delete a branch? Isn't it? Why should you delete a branch? Branches or like they could be for temporary purpose or else they could be permanent. The use cases for temporary and permanent I'll explain in a while, but let me tell you, yes, you can maintain a branch permanently or a temporary. If it is temporary, yes, after the changes are integrated into the original branch, you may delete this temporary branch, right? So that's how we'll do. We'll see that delete also, okay? But before doing that deleting a branch, we have few more things to cover and then we'll see deleting the branch. So coming back here, temporary, why it could be temporary? Like I said, let's say this is the main branch. You will not mess up this and so you create a new branch from this like a feature one and then you develop your changes here, right? Or you make your config changes. It need not be a developer. Develop in the sense you may develop your config changes as a DevOps engineer. So whatever it is, so let's say you have created a branch. Your work is done, it's doing good. You have merged it back to the original branch. After merging it to the original branch, you don't need to have this one, right? Like you can delete this branch. So that's where you can see like temporary branches where you use them like a draft for test purpose kind of. But whereas you may have some branches which you maintain for your environment, like dev environment, that's a branch. You have a release branch or a prod or pre-prod branches kind of, right? For maintaining the environments or maintaining the releases, you may maintain the release in a separate branch. So that's where you manage them permanently. So it could be either ways. Depending on the use case, you may have it as a permanent or temporary branch, but the way you create everything is same. You can delete the temporary branches whenever like the branch is merged into some other original branch. Right, this is the recap or a kind of overview of what we did yesterday, like what is a branch kind of. But still, whoever having questions, you can remind me at the end. I can repeat it towards the end of the class. Now, let's get started with a new concept called stash. Like I have got some message regarding the branch to repeat. Prince, please remind me at the end of the class. Okay, right. And now coming to the concept of stash, this is again an advanced and a new concept. So like what is a stash and how it works? Let's see. I'm explaining a use case. Let's say you are in a working directory. You have some changes here, like file 1 and file 2. And let's say file 3. These are some of the files you have. And let's suppose you made some changes here. Here also you made some changes, right? So you made some changes in the working directory, and then you are moving those changes to, let's say you made some changes. So obviously these changes are in the working directory, right? You just modified it. Changes in the sense you have modified it. Now, let's say there is some priority task from my manager, or else let's say I have to do some bug fix immediately, whatever it is. I have to work on this file 3 and commit this immediately and push to remote, right? So like, okay, I modified this file, I have made some changes, and I want to commit this file. I have done this, but whenever I'm committing this file, always it will prompt me about these files, correct? These changes. It will ask me to make changes and commit this one, correct? It will keep on prompting me, but I can't do this because I'm still working on them. These changes are incomplete, right? So, or pending, they are not yet complete. I cannot just push these changes, correct? At the same time, I can't discard them because I'm halfway through. But whenever you commit, it will try to commit all the changes. Always remember, whenever you commit or whenever you merge or whenever you push to remote, always the repository should be clean. That's a best practice, or that's the ideal way. Your repository should be clean, but it will not be clean, right? Unless you add them, but I can't add them because they're incomplete. At the same time, I can't discard them. Majority of the work or half of the work is done. So, can I put them on hold for some time? That's where actually stash comes in. Obviously, like whatever unstaged changes, correct? These are unstaged changes. Any unstaged changes from the working directory can be moved to some virtual temporary shelves. This is called stash, right? This is called stash. Moving the unstaged changes to temporary shells is called stash. Okay, so that you are moving them to temporary shells, your repository clean, you can commit the priority tasks and like push to remote, whatever. So that's a stash. And okay, fine, I'm done with that priority task. If I want to get them back, yes, you can get those changes from those temporary shells back to your working directory, which is called unstash. Right? This is the concept of stash and unstash. And again, when you stash, like a stash number will be created. It's like index number which starts from 0. So every stash will be stored on the temporary shells. You can unstash them, or if you don't want to unstash and discard them, you can also do that. So let's do the lab for understanding all of these things about stash. Good to go for the lab on stash. Any questions from anyone?
No.
Right, let's come back to our branch. Let me check the status. Okay, we are on master branch. Just checking the log, git log one line. There are bunch of commits. Again, I want to go for the demonstration with a simple commit history. This should be the topmost commit. I want to discard all the successive commits above this. How to do that?
Git reset.
Reset.
So git reset hard. I just discarded just to have a simple log history before we go for the demo. All right. So like I have got these files, file 1 and file 2, and the working directory should be clean. Okay. Let's suppose I'm making some changes. I want to make some change here. Similarly here as well. Right. I just modified these files. Now if you do the git status, so I can see that changes not staged, right? It shows like changes are not staged. What is when we changes not staged? Obviously, unstaged changes, the modifications left over here. Let's suppose I have to do some other change and commit that particular change. Let's say here work is still going on. I still want to make some changes. But I want my repository to be clean. How would the repository become clean? I should either commit them, I mean, add them to staging area and commit them, or discard them. I can't do both of them, right? So what I'll do, I will move them to temporary shells. How to do that? Simply, the command is git stash. So if I do git stash, so you can see like on the left hand side Explorer itself, it shows those things, as well as if you check git status on branch master, and yeah. So you can see on branch master and all. And so does it mean that we lost those changes? You can see the changes on the temporary shells with the git stash list. Like I told you, right? Whenever you do a stash number will be created. That index number starts from 0. So it has created and your changes are here. If you want to see those changes, git show stash number. So it will tell you what are all the changes that were stashed. So here it can show you, see on file 1 some changes were stashed. Similarly on file 2, correct? So it will show you which changes were stashed and also lines it was showing. Okay, fine, they were on the temporary shells. Okay, fine. Now my repository is clean. I can continue my priority task and commit this. But now I want to get those changes back. How to get those changes back? And what is that called as? That is called as unstash. And how you do this as git stash pop stash number. That's the command, right? So if you do this, you can see that. Do you see changes are back? Right? What it does, pop command, it will bring the changes back to the working directory. Also here you can see it dropped this stash, means it has deleted it from temporary shells. Meaning, if you see the stash list now, it's nothing there on temporary shells. It has brought them back to working directory as well as it has cleared the temporary shells. Understood understood till this part? What stash pop is doing? It's doing two things. Is it also clear for every one of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So that's how you get the changes back. And it has dropped or cleared everything from the temporary shells. Here I'll show you different scenarios. Let me again do the stash. Git stash. Again, changes are gone. If you do stash list, a stash number is created. If you want, you can do git stash this one to see what changes. And if you want to get them back, you will do stash pop list. There is one more thing to unstash. Way to unstash is pop apply. What is the difference? Difference is this is the difference. Means it will unstash. It will bring them to the temporary shells, but it will not clean it up from, sorry, it will bring back to the working directory, but it will not clean them from the temporary shells. If you want to just maintain it in the temporary shelf as well, you can use apply. Why you want to maintain in the temporary shells, we will discuss that. We'll discuss that scenario. Why do you need it? But let me execute it. See, you don't have the drop. Do you see that? See, always for any tool, for any technology, I would say, not only DevOps, for any technology, whenever you are learning something, it's you should very sure that you are troubleshooting or you're understanding the error messages better, right? This, of course, this is not an error message. This is the output when you run the command. You should read and understand it thoroughly. So see here, it dropped, but here it's not dropping. Means your changes are back as well as you have changes on the temporary shells as well under the stash list. Clear, everyone? So that's the So that's the difference between stash and pop and apply. But then why do we need this apply? See, this stash is a repository level. Repository level meaning we have stashed it and they are moved to temporary shells, right? Let's say then later on I want to continue this incomplete or pending work on some other branches. You can switch to the branch and unstash there also. If you have that copy in the temporary shells, you can unstash it and use it in another branches as well. That's the purpose of keeping the stash apply so that you still maintain it on the temporary shells. Understood? Stash list. Let's suppose I want to clean up this. Git stash, drop the stash number. You can see here, drop is like it has removed it. This is how you remove it, clean up from temporary shells. But anyhow, I have all the changes here, right? So that's about stash pop and stash apply. Now let's suppose I just want to yeah, I want to stash again, but let's see another use case now. See, I have changes, unstaged changes on two files. Whenever I'm running this stash command, whatever unstaged files are there, like it could be one or two, whatever it is, everything is being stashed, right? Maybe there might be use case I want to stash only one particular file. I want only file 1 to be stashed, not file 2. So how do we do that in this case? Git stash -p. P means partial stash or stashing a specific file. So that if you run this command, it will prompt on every unstaged change, whether to stash or not. So that you can give yes or no, and that's how you can decide which changes to be stashed and which one not. Right? This is another way to stash a particular file. So here you can see git stash minus p. So it's asking for the prompt. Do you see that's a file 1? Yes, I want to stash. And it's asking again for file 2. No, I don't want to stash. So do you see that? This particular file to unstaged changes were still on the temporary shells. If you see here, git status, file 2 is still there. And also git stash list, it might have stashed it. Git stash or git show stash number. Right? It's showing that file 1 which is stashed. Now let's say I want to stash this again. Again, you may do stash because it's only one file, whether it I do minus p or this would be same. So stash it. So I can have multiple stashes this way. So whichever changes I want to get them back to the working directory, I can unstash those. Are we good?
Yes,
Yes,
I have
yeah,
one doubt
that's fine.
here. Like, I have one doubt. First, I stashed file 1 and
Mm.
file 2 I want to commit. Can I commit only file 2? File
Mm.
1, it will not, whatever it is stashed, that file it will not committed, right?
Will not commit. Whatever in your working directory, that only will be committed. If you want to commit this, yes, run the commit command. It's very
Okay.
obvious, right? It's showing as -m. So you can add and commit that. You can do that. That's the purpose of it, right? If you have some other things to commit on priority and all, you can move this to temporary shells and you can commit or continue there.
Okay.
And here you have stash list, whichever you want. Like maybe I just want to get only file 1 or file 2, whatever you want, you can do that. And if you want to delete something, okay, I understood, let's say I realized maybe I don't want these changes anymore. You can do drop that particular stash number. I have shown you drop already, right? Which will discard. It will not bring the changes back. It will simply discard this one, right? Drop this one. Let's say that will not unstash, just clean it up from the temporary shells. Let's say I want to discard everything. You may do stash clear, right? A stash clear will clean up everything. Got it?
It will clear from temporary shells or
Temporary.
for
From
a
temporary shells.
complete.
Everything from the temporary shells. A drop, you have to give particular stash number which you want to clear, whereas this will clean up everything in the temporary shells,
Not from the working directory.
not from the working directory. Stash clear, stash drop is to clean up from the temporary shells. It will not unstash or it will not do anything with the temporary shells. This is same as you drop them one by one, or else if you have bunch of them, you can do clear. Now I did clear. There is nothing on temporary shells. At the same time, you did not get anything back to your working directory. Right? Let me summarize these things because like these are many actually. Git stash and git stash pop stash number and git stash up. Okay, git stash list, git stash show. Sorry, actually it is simply git show stash number and git stash apply stash number, or else if you want to drop anything, git stash drop this particular stash number, or git stash clear to clear everything, or partial stash to stash any specific file, right? You know this better. You are moving this to from working directory to temporary shells. What are you moving? Unstaged changes. Unstaged changes from the working directory can be moved to temporary shells. This is getting from the temporary shells to working directory plus cleaning the temporary shells as well, right? correct? Stash list, it's very obvious. It will list all the stashes. It will show that particular stash, what changes went in. Apply is also like you get from temporary directory to working directory, I mean temporary shells to working directory. Plus it will not delete from temporary shells. Right? That's apply. Drop cleans a particular stash from temporary shells. This one will clean all the stashes, all of them from the temporary shells. This is stash a specific file. Got it now? Those are the bunch of commands or the scenarios we discussed. Clear till this part, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. And here, if you observe closely, we were unstashing, we were stashing only unstaged changes, right? So how about if any untracked? Do you know the difference between untracked and unstaged? Can you recollect it? We discussed this on day 1 of our GIT. Can anyone answer this? What is untracked change? I mean, what is the difference between untracked and unstaged?
Files not added get error.
Yeah, untracked is for a new file, right? It's like a new file. It's not added to staging area and local repository. For the first time, you call it as unstaged. Sorry, untracked. Later on, you may stage it. You may move it to your staging area, working local repository. Later on, if you are modifying it, if you are making any modifications, then that was called as unstaged. So we are talking about stash for unstaged. Can you also stash untracked changes? Yes, you can. Means it's not at all in the staging area new things. Yes, even these can be. This is the command. Git stash -u for stashing untracked, I'm sorry, untracked changes. Again, all the rest of the commands remain same. Right, this is the whole concept of stash. Any questions, any confusions, anything from this part?
Mm.
Okay. If you are all good with this, let's get started with the next interesting concept called rebase. So what is this rebase? To understand this rebase better, let me take up some use case. Let's say initially you have some branch called master, right? And you are having some bunch of commits, commit A, commit B, right? So then you made some branch called B2 from master. Obviously, you'll have this commit A and commit B. The commit history will also be copied into the child branch. And from here onwards, development is happening parallelly or work is happening parallelly, right? So let's suppose, parallel development is happening. They made some changes here, like a C here, they are making some commit D. That's how it's going on. Let's suppose you want to integrate after these changes, you want to integrate some changes from master to B2. Can we do that? And what is that called as? Integrating changes from one branch to another.
Merge.
Right? It's a merge. So, okay, you merge from master to B1, B2. And if you have done some hands-on on this merge, yesterday we learned this merge. How many of you have done hands-on on this merge part? Okay, there is, okay, Prince have done some hands-on on this merge. Akshay have done, Kajal have done that. That's good to know. So like if you have done some hands-on on it, you might have noticed it. Whenever you merge, yes, changes from this parent branch will be merged into the child, or else changes from source branch will be merged into the destination branch during merge. And also if you notice, your commit history of the destination branch would be altered this way. This merge will add a new commit as a topmost commit into the current branch. Have you noticed it? This is the one. Like actually this is the commit history of the destination branch before merging. Because you merged, yes, changes got integrated, as well as this particular commit will also be merged and it will be added as a topmost commit into the current branch. If there is a no conflict, it would be the same commit ID like C from the source branch. If there is a commit, again, if there is a conflict, again it would be the same, but this commit ID would be something else, like something different. This is the conflict scenario. Got it? So this is how it is, isn't it? You have a conflict scenario and this is how you see this. Am I correct? So I'm repeating again, whenever you merge from some source branch to the destination branch is the one which is impacted, which is affected, and you will see a new commit added into the destination branch. It could be the same commit ID from the source if there are no conflicts, or else it could be a different commit ID if there is a conflict, right? That's how it is. So when that's how you have those changes merged in. This is how you see. But let's assume this is not looking like an ideal way, right? Actually, there is nothing happened on the B2 branch. We didn't make any commits. But just because you are integrating, you are getting added the new commits as a topmost commits. It seems like they are like new commits or some new work happened. But then there are use cases where I need a clean log history. Means if you see this log history, you will see some of them from the parent branch, A and B are from the parent branch, D is from child branch, again C is from the parent branch, kind of. After some months, you may not be able to understand which commit is coming from which branch. So if you need a clean, linear, what is meant by linear, I'll tell you. If you want a clean, linear log history, right, of the branches, you can do something called rebase. Rebase is also same. It is also a kind of merge. But what you would do, how the log history would be after merging, it would be like initially commit A, then commit B, then commit C, and then D. Means C would come and sit in between B and D. Why between B and D? One second, let me write this clearly. It would be commit A, commit B, commit C, commit D. Means we are just integrating the changes, right? It shouldn't be added as a topmost commit ID. Also, I mean the linear log history means all the commits from the parent branch, then the commits from the child branch. That's the actual thing, right? A linear log history. First, everything from parent and then the changes from the child branch. It would look like as though we have created branch at this point. But actually, we created a branch at uh, B commit, right? But it looks as though we have created at this point. That is the concept of merge, sorry, rebase. And yeah, see here means it's nothing but you are rewriting the log history. Functionality wise same, you are integrating changes from one branch to another branch. But the concept is like you are rewriting the log history in such a way that it will show you clean linear log history. This is called rebase. Whereas if you merge the commit history, if you see, these two are from parent. This is from child. This is again from parent. That's how it is. Actually, it shows the parallel development. And also that is realistic. Actually, parallel development is happening. What is meant by parallel development? Changes are happening in master. Changes are happening on B2 parallelly, iteratively. Right? Both branches are being developed parallelly. Multiple developers are working parallelly. right? So that's a merge, and the rebase is about having a clean linear log history which rewrites the log history. That's a rebase. Means first all the parent commits as per the timestamp. First A is the one which is done, then B, then C, then whatever, and then the child commits. That's a rebase. Rebase is a far advanced concept. This is also a type of merge. Functionality wise same, but it will rewrite the log history, and this is a far advanced concept, and this should be done only for local branches. And beginners are warned about it. You should be using it very carefully. And the concept of rebase which I have shown is less used, but the same kind of rebase is used in a different way when we go to remote branches. We will talk about this as well. But you need to have clarity on this actual rebase concept. Is this clear? Can we go for the hands-on for this, or any queries you want to check at this point?
Mm.
Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so now its status. Let me just check the log again. I'm on master branch. It's 2 commits, that should be fine. Just going with a simple log history. Now, let's say I'll create a branch, new branch from this master. Like same as we have discussed in the diagram, we'll do the same. So I want to create a new branch called B2. How to?
Checkout -B.
Yes. Git checkout B2, the new branch name and the parent branch name, right? It will create a branch. Git, oh sorry, Git, if you are using checkout, it will create and switch. You should use -B. I don't want to switch. I just want to create the branch. So Git branch B2 master. So branch might be created. You can see that in the list. Okay. But still I'm on master branch, and I want to make a file here, make a commit here in master. So file3.txt. Okay, some dummy line added. Now it is an untracked file, right? I'm just adding this untracked one, file3, git commit -m on B2. Okay, done. So git status, git log. Is this third file available on B2? Third file, third commit? Definitely not, right? So it will not be available. Anyone whoever have missed branching, so this is how you create a branch, and everything will be copied into the child branch, right? So the new commit, whichever I have created in master, this is specific to master only. All right, now let's go to B2. This is the command to switch the branch. Git checkout B2. So I have switched to this branch, and if I see the log here, obviously I'll have only 2 commits and 2 files, which is also good. Right now, yeah. Now let us do some commit here on this B2 branch. Okay. So just let me have some file. I'm creating file 4. Okay. So what should we do? And what is this file? Where is this file? Untracked, it's in the working directory, right? So we have to do git add file 4, git commit -m B2 changes, right? Done. git status, git log. Right? So this is how you have those changes. All right. So now, yeah. So this is commit A, this is commit B, and this is commit D, right? So let's take the log of master. So you can consider this like commit A, commit B, and commit. So what I'll do is, this is the log of master. Okay, just let me have this on the log. Log of master. Master is the source branch. It shouldn't be impacted. Let's get the log of this B2. Log of B2. Right? This is what we had. Now, let's come back. Now I want to integrate changes from master to B2. So I want this commit to be coming into B2 branch, but it should be sit in between these two, correct? So let's do that. Git rebase the source branch. This is the command, like git rebase the source and destination also you can write, because I'm already in destination. Writing destination should be optional. So git rebase master, it says it has rebased. Check the log of your B2, and this is the log of your B2. Log of B2 after rebase, right? So here you can see this is the commit ID. If you see A, this is what you have, and this is the B. Can you see this? This is commit A. Okay, let me represent with alphabets. So this is commit A, this is commit B, this is commit D, right? And this is the master branch, like you have commit A, commit B, and commit C. So if you see here, after rebase, commit A, commit B, commit C, this is the commit D. Commit D might be, ID might change. This ID may be different, but if you see, even the commit message is also same. The whole point is the like how they were rewritten, the order of the commits, right? Initially, you see these are all from these three are from the parent branch. This is from the child branch. This is important, the order, not the IDs, but this is the order. And C is not added as a topmost commit into the current branch, but it came in between B and D. Got it clear with this representation? Everyone, any questions here?
Got it.
Right? So this is about the rebase. Try to do the hands-on from your end as well. So that like when you see it from your end with your own hands, if you do that, like you will get a different visualization, different perspective of it, like you understand what actually is happening. So definitely don't miss out on this hands-on. These are all the advanced concepts. And if you ask me what are the scenarios and all, it's nothing but when you manage your files, when you make comments, when you merge it, when you just want to integrate these things, this is how you use these things, about how you manage your repositories, how you manage your projects, right? And I would like to remind at this point, we were still on the local repository. We did not go to remote yet, right? Because these are all lot many things to be learned here. So we were still on local. We did not go to remote. We will do that. Are we good and clear? So this is the rebase. This kind of rebase is less used in the real time, whereas there's another type of reset which we use, rebase which we use, like when you are pushing to remote. We'll come to that part as well. So this is all about rebase. Any questions, let me know before we go for the next topic. Let me clean up this. Okay, we are on B2. We are having 3 branches. I'm clearing off this. Okay. So, like I said, we were still working on this local. We were here. We have learned lot many things over here, right? And also, I would like to recollect at this point. In the beginning, we discussed how do you create a local repository? How do you create a local repository? You can create local repository in multiple ways. Like you may be creating a local repository, like let's suppose it's a new project, you don't have anything on remote, you just join this project and it's a whole new project developing from scratch. So you can create an empty local repository, right, with a Git in it. It will create .init folder, .git folder. It will create .git, and whichever directory is having .git means it's a local repository, right? It will keep tracking everything present there. That's how we get started. That's what we did. There is also second use case, right? You may also copy from remote and create a local repository. So we will look into this use case as well, right? As we are going to remote. Now, what is this remote repository? See, whatever changes I have done till now are confined only for myself. No one else can see the changes. Let's say we are a team of DevOps, like everyone, we are developing or making some code changes at our local, right? This is my local repository. No one else can see the changes. Let's suppose, okay, I have done good. I have completed my work. I want to share it with others. I want to push to remote, right? That's where remote repositories comes in. Remote repository is nothing but online management system where you can host your version control systems like Git, right? So examples for this are GitHub, Bitbucket, right? GitLab. These are some of the examples of remote repositories. If you work with GitHub, you can very easily work on Bitbucket and vice versa. They almost work and look similar with some differences in the UI and all, but they were almost same. I have used both of them in different projects, and in the as of now we were using both as well. Some orgs might be using both of them, but there wouldn't be much drastic changes. They were very similar. So we'll be going through GitHub. So now, okay, my local repository is ready. I want to push to remote. So how it work and all, let's see. Just go to github.com and create a free account. Like you create any Facebook or any other accounts, as simple as that, create a free account. Once you create a free account, you will get some username and password. And this is the GitHub free account. Now, okay, my local repository is ready. This is my local repository, right? This Git demo folder is the local repository, and I'm ready with my changes. I want to push those to remote. But you need an address to push. You need a location to push, right? So you can just go here, create some repository, right? Repo one, some name I'm giving, and I'm creating a public one. Private public difference is the authentication, that's all. So I'm just giving a public one for now. Create a repository. So repository is created. It's a remote repository where you can host your local repositories. And this is the address of your remote repository, right? Copy this address, right? Now, okay, I understood this is the remote. How do we connect it? You can go and tell this remote, git remote add origin. Yes. So that it understands, okay, this is the remote repository. First, and by the way, what is meant by origin? Origin is like a keyword or else an alias name to hold your remote repository address. In much more simple terms, it's like a variable. And what is a variable? A holder, right? To hold something like x equal to 5. X is a variable in mathematical terms, right? You may give any name to x, like my var equal to 5, whatever, right? Similarly, here origin is like a variable or else an alias name and you will configure it with the remote repository address. You may give any name to the origin. Like I just mentioned, it could be X or myvar. You could be giving any name here. But origin is the general or the standard practice. Okay. So I have done this, and if you want to check how your remote is configured, git remote -v verbose, you will see that origin is linked with this one, right? Okay, fine. Now I want to push something to remote. Git push origin, I want to push the master branch. So git push origin master. So if you are doing it for the first time, even then it's public repository, whether it is a public or a private. If someone is pushing to the repo, they should have authentication to it, right? So for the first time, if you are pushing to the repo, it will prompt for credentials, right? It will ask for username and password. What username and password will you provide? Which username and password will you provide? So coming to this GitHub, it's this username and password is not what you provide. That's a catch here. You might be assuming you will provide this username of your GitHub and the password. But authentication, with username and password is deprecated. You should be providing personal access tokens. How do you provide the personal access token? On the right hand side, top corner, you will see this menu. Go to the settings. Again, now on the left hand side, you will see lot many options. Go to the last one, developer settings. Under developer settings, you will see the personal access token. You can go with the classic ones and create a token. See, I have one token like DEVOPS one. You may just go here, generate the token, whether a classic one or beta is like a more granularized authentication, or a classic one should be fine. You should provide password for your repository. I mean, you should authenticate again. Okay, this is like a two-way authentication factor. You should be installing some app, authenticator app on your mobile, and you should provide that code here. Right now, you will be allowed to do it. I'm just giving the token name as demo, and you can set the expiration, whether it should be expired within 7 days or 30 days, whatever, and what should be the scope, whether it should be the scope of repositories or all the admin tasks, whatever, and generate the token. See, this is the token. You will see only for the first time. Once it's created, see, I see like this. I don't see that actual token. So you should store it securely and safely. It will give you only for the first time. It should be saved properly, backed up properly. If you lost it, like, you cannot authenticate it. So that's how you have to generate the token. Those are called personal access tokens. And whenever you are trying to push to your repo, you need to have authenticated. So it will prompt for username and password only for the first time, only one time task. Next time onwards, it will use the same credentials. So for the first time when you run this, it will prompt for username. Username, you can give your GitHub username or the token name, whatever. But the password should be the personal access token. Am I making sense? Because people might be stuck up here. So these are the steps you should follow. And then because I already have done this, it will not prompt for me, because like I said, it's only one time task. So I have authenticated and it says it is pushed. And let's go to our repo now. Yeah, repositories. It's a repo one. It says updated now. Do you see now? The master branch, one branch is pushed. You have all the 3 files and all the commit history, whichever you have till now. Perfect, right?
Yes.
So that's how you push that. And I would like to push the other branch as well, B1. So it says, yes, changes were pushed. Let's see, earlier there is only one branch, but after refresh, there should be 2 branches, right? You can see the branch list here and come back. You have 2 branches. If you want to switch from this drop down, you can switch. 4 files are there on the B1 and 5 commits, which you all can see. Now, if I have pushed here means others can see changes. Others means other collaborators to this project, whoever are added to this repository or project, whatever you call it, they can see these changes. Even they can get the changes done and all. We'll see all of those use cases. We were talking about pushing the branches. Good. Yeah. So we have pushed the changes and then okay, let's do another interesting thing. Let's come here. Till now, we created the branches, but we haven't deleted it, right? Let's say deleting a branch. How do you delete the branch? Git branch minus D. I want to delete this B1. Git branch minus D B1. See, it says B1 is not fully merged. If you are sure you want to delete it, use capital D. But what happens if you delete a branch which is not merged? Why it is giving us that error warning?
Changes
What happens?
specific to that branch will be discarded.
Will be lost, right? Those changes will be lost. We will be losing those changes. That's why it's reminding us that it's not fully merged. But still, if you want to delete, you have to use capital D. That's a way because it is giving us warning and it's making sure we are doing it consciously. That's why you have to use capital D so that you are still sure of deleting it. So deleted the branch. Now, if you see the list, see there is no more B1. Okay, perfect. Is it deleted from here as well? No, that's confined for our local, isn't it? That's our local repository. So
will
you
not
can't.
push.
Yeah.
I will not push the B1.
Yeah. Like here, we did not push the change, right? So here, if you see the list, you will see the branches. Let's suppose you want to delete this from remote also. How do you delete from remote? You can do this. Go to the branch list, delete from here, or else from the local also you can push that deletion, like git push horizon delete v1, right? That's how you can delete from the remote. So right, it says it's has deleted from remote. It's showing the remote address. Let's see on the remote now. Let's refresh it. Yes, you can see only one branch. Are we good? So
We can
this
delete
is
master branch also. Same way.
master branch. You can't delete it. Master branch will be the default or the main branch. That's on remote actually. Like if you just go and try to delete this, see, you can see default branch. And if you try to delete it, see, you can't delete the default branch. Okay.
Example, I created one branch. I don't want to delete, like a dev stays master, like that. Dev branch stays branch. I don't want to delete like a master. Is it possible to
Can
do that?
impose, we can impose those things, branching rules we can set. We'll come to that part.
Okay.
So that's a simple push and pushing the changes to remote. Now, till now, this is the use case we have seen. It's a new project, nothing on remote. So we created our local repository by running git init, and it has created .git. So it's nothing but it's a local repository created. And here on, how did we connect this to remote? Git remote add horizon, and then we are doing the push. This is what happening here. Git push horizon. This is what we are doing. Now, let's assume already project is there. There is something on remote, right? There is already a project on remote. Now I want to copy it and create a local repository. That's the second use case or scenario, right? So how do we do that? Let's see. Let's assume already there is a project on remote. Let's take some existing repositories on remote. Like if you just check here, you can take some existing repositories. These are some of the repositories like I may pick up some, but I don't want to mess up them for this demo. What I'll do is I'm creating a new repo. Naming it as repo2, but I want some commits and files also. So I'm just initializing with a dummy file, a readme file. Okay, so that I can consider it like some files and some commits. Create the repo. See, I have readme, I have one commit. Assume there could be some 10 files, 10 commits, whatever it is, right? Let's say it's all about already a remote repository is there. Now, I want to copy from this and create a local repository. Yesterday's use case is same. I created an empty one with a Git in it. But now I want to copy from here and create a local repository. Isn't it? Let's say I joined a project which is already a 2-year-old project. It already has something. So I have to copy from here, create a local, contribute my changes. So if you just click on this code, you will see a clone link. Copy this, the repository URL. And I would like to create another local repository. I'm already in this local repository. Come out of this local repository. I'm coming out of this local repository and I'm doing this on my desktop. What you should do? Git clone this repo2. What is the meaning of clone? Like general English dictionary meaning of clone. Copying, right?
Structure.
Yeah, it
Only
will
structure.
copy this remote repo2 from remote to local. Means it will create a directory called repo2 and it will copy everything into it from the scratch. Means you will also see .git. Means basically it's creating a local repository. Let's see. See, it says cloning into. Means on the desktop, repo2 might have been created. Yes. Let's open that from the Explorer as well. Or else you can open another window. New window. Okay, that is another local repository. This is another local repository. On the desktop, I should see repo2. Yes. Yeah, it has got readme and you can launch your terminal to see the commits and all. Say I'm on repo2, git status. See on the main branch, because I created this on remote, it's showing as main. Whether it is main or master, both are same default main branches. And you can see the commit history. This is a local repository. How do you know that? See the hidden files. .git is there. Understood? This is one local repository. This is another local repository. One second. I have launched 2 windows. Okay, this is the other one. Right, this is one local repository and right, this is a Git demo folder. Okay, let me go back to Git demo. This is a Git demo folder which we developed with by running Git in it. And this is another one which I did with Git clone. Making sense, everyone? I have 2 local repositories now on my desktop, repo2 and Git demo. Understood the 2 ways of creating it?
Yeah.
So now, okay, here it is a local repository. I can again create any files like however I want. Here also it's a local repository like file1.txt. Okay, hello from local repository. Right, the story is same. Git status. It's again local repository. I got everything from remote. Now I may make some changes. What should I do? It's an untracked file. The same story, like add it. Now it will be showing like changes to be committed. Right now, commit the changes. Git commit -m from local. Done. Okay, let's say I'm done. I want to push the changes to remote. How do I push this? See, this is only in my local, right? It's not there here. So how do I push my changes to remote? How do I connect it first of all? Should I again run git remote add horizon? I need not do that. See, In this case, I should do git remote origin to connect to the remote. But here you did a clone. Whenever you did a clone, already that origin is set here, right? Like this is a repo 2. I did a clone and repo 2 is created. This is created with the git clone and the URL. So in this case, origin is already set. You can directly check it. You don't need to set the origin again like git remote add origin. Got the difference, everyone? All of you
Yes,
clear
got
with,
it. Yeah.
right? So now you can directly do git push origin master. Of course, it's a main, name is main, push typo. So the change whichever I had might be pushed here. Yes. From local is the commit message, 1 minute and the new commit. Understood?
Yes.
No,
So
this is
why previously it is master and after that it is main? Is there any
whenever you create from local, it will be created as master. This one we
master?
created.
Okay. Got it.
Right? This one I created from the user interface. Actually, we will not do that. You will not create from UI. You develop here, then push it. But for our demonstration, I created from the UI. So it will be created with the main, but both are same. Either it is main or master. Generally, we see it as master only. Like I said, we don't create from UI. Like we develop here and push it. But the whole point is you developed it and pushed. Let's say developer or a DevOps person one developed it and pushed it to remote. It's master only. Then you join this project. When you clone it, it will be master only. But in my case, because I have to assume it's already project there, I created it from the UI, assuming someone else someone else is already having that repo. I created it from UI. Right? Scenario. So that is about how you push your changes, how do you get a copy from remote and all. There's a lot more on remote, like push, pull with rebase, conflicts on remote, branch level restrictions, pull requests. All of this we shall take this from here in the next class. Differences between clone, pull, fetch, all of this to be discussed. Here I have shown you basic way of pulling, pushing, cloning. Pulling we did not see, pull we did not see. We'll see that pull tomorrow. Any questions from anyone? In any part till whatever I have covered here. From the previous sessions or anything you have, you can ask me now. We'll utilize the last 10 minutes for the questionnaire. So anything should I repeat? Anything you can remind me at this point? Today's topic or yesterday's or anything you have.
Where I can get these labs from day one because yesterday only first class I started.
Yeah. You are logged into this portal, right? Have you logged into this portal?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let me also log in. Okay, it's logging in with the default. Just a second, give me a second. Okay, so once you log in, like go to the My Learnings, like as you are all registered there, you should be seeing like this, January 2025, not this demo live one. You should go for this program, right? You will see this January 2025 batch like this. So go here And you all know by now, here is your class link, right? Link to join the class every day, the WhatsApp group, private WhatsApp group, and other labs, other recordings are here. The day one demo and Git day one. From Git day one, you have everything here. Git day one. And at the bottom you can click on this lab exercises to go to the labs. Right? Similarly, on day two recording, at the bottom, you'll have those labs quiz. And Git 3, like this, you have everything. Today, Git 4 will be added here. That's how at the bottom of the video, you will see. So if you go to that Git 1 lab, this is the lab hands-on exercise, commands, everything which we did in the class. And if it is day 2, here it is. Right? And the quiz, the respective quiz. Right? Understood?
Yes.
So you can check this. If you still have any problem accessing this, you can please ping this number. Mr. Raj can help you on this. See, branching concept which we did and all. Today, 4th days will be available and the 4th link will be there. Also, if you want to do hands-on much ahead also, you can do that. There'll be here itself all the lab assignments, or here from here also you can go. Here is all the lab assignments, irrespective of the days. If you want to check all the assignments, also topic wise, you have them here. Okay, Git day 1, day 2, all of it. Okay. And yeah. Any other queries? And Prince, are you clear with that branching or should I repeat the branch? Today we did that few steps. Are you clear with it or should I go further?
Yes, I'm clear.
Are you good with that? Okay. Thank you, Prince, for confirming. So this is about today's class, and now you have access to the quiz. You can start from your end or else I'll share it. But yeah, make sure you are doing it after the class. I should log in with another account. So you can go from here, like after the video is posted, or else you can also go from here. Maybe let me try if I can get from here. Yeah. It's a day 4. Okay. I'm sharing it. You can go through it from your end. I'm sharing it in the Zoom chat. So that is all for today. Tomorrow we'll cover the things on the remote. That's agenda for tomorrow. Any more questions from anyone?
Thank you.
All right. We'll close here and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow. Any questions during your hands-on, you can utilize that WhatsApp group. Please post the screenshots there so that we can help you out. But please complete your hands-on before you join the next class. Right? Thank you all. Good day. Bye, everyone.